Hey guys, Leanna here, playing the Evil Within on Tatas Tuesdays. I know, what a weird decision for a game to talk about boobs. It's the least sexy thing you can think of. But I looked through my game collection and tried to find a game with, appropriate content, because I try to match it. But I also have to find games that don't, come on, there, don't have a lot of talky that gets in the way of the commentary. So the only game I had that would have worked is Bayonetta 2, and Nintendo doesn't have their partnership program up and running in Canada, so I can't do Nintendo games. I can't use Nintendo games in my videos. So I decided to pick a game that reflects my desire to stab things in the head whenever this issue comes up. Because it's Tatas Tuesday, we're talking about something related to women, and in this case I decided to talk about the issue relating to women being criticized on Twitch for having boobs in their videos. And I can't believe we're having this debate in 2015. This should be real simple. Free speech, free speech, free speech, free speech. If some woman wants to let her boobs do the talking, that's fine. She's not a traitor to all women or anything like that. That's an absurd concept. But that's simple, right? And the thing I find interesting about the whole topic, where's the prompt? Oh yeah, it's over here. The thing I find interesting about the whole topic is it should be simple. And it's very much not, because people get their emotions involved and we get into this whole, female competitiveness thing. Come on, melee. Son of a melee. Thank you, I was pushing the wrong button. That one was my fault. But that's satisfying, isn't it? But what happens on this issue of boobs, for those of you who get terribly confused about why this is at all an issue, and I understand why you do get confused. It should be a simple freedom of expression paradigm. Done. Let's go home and drink, right? That should be it. But then we get into this nasty bit of business that is female competitiveness and the over-reliance on physicality of women in any form of media. And these are real things. You guys have heard me refer to the X-Play factor before. Look at the women who are on X-Play. Look at Adam Sessler. Don't tell me that the way women look were more important to them being hired by G4 than the way the dudes looked. It's just right there on the screen, right? And so I think it is important to be aware of, this whole boobies conundrum. But I think it's important to have discussions regarding it without blaming the women who choose to flaunt what they got. Because I'm a big believer in if you got it, flaunt it. If you got it, flaunt it's great. We exist in a free market. If you have something people want, why shouldn't you be able to use that for financial benefit? That's the way the free market works, right? But we do have this issue of women's appearance being overvalued compared to our ideas. And I speak of this, the reason I talk about this is I've come at this from both sides of the equation. I was on a late night show in Canada, for those of you who don't know, who had highly sexualized content. I think it's great. I absolutely stand by everything we did on that show, except the few things that got us upheld CRTC complaints. I don't stand by those. We were wrong in those cases. But neither of them were specifically me. But there is an issue, because I saw firsthand on the show that, my male colleagues got praised for being smart or funny. I got praised for being hot. which I eventually realized is encapsulating all that stuff but expressing it on a somewhat physical paradigm. But that leads to a lot of pressure to be hot. And I stopped doing things that, you notice I don't tend to wear low-cut clothes anymore because I want my ideas to be what's highlighted. And, that's me deliberately toning down a particular asset I have with cause. And it's not to attract a female audience. I've given up on attracting a primarily female audience. I'm a hardcore gamer. My audience is going to be predominantly men. I mean, look at the games I play, right? And I know other women that play these games. Had a discussion with another woman this week that plays The Evil Within. We had a great discussion about it. But the reality is, I play Mass Effect. Only 14% of Mass Effect players are female, according to a graph I saw that I cannot confirm the accuracy of. Ah, crap, he saw me. Throw. Shit. No, gun please. Gun please. Gun please. Why can't I get the gun? There we go. Ah, come on. Give me the gross headshot. Ah, shit, I hear somebody else. Run! And come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. This is stupid. Because I don't have anything leveled up anymore. I feel like, whoa, no, no, no. This is actually the fun parts of the game where you start do-si-doing with a zombie. But this is level 2 of The Evil Within. For those, whoa, he's got half his head. This is by far the worst level in the whole freaking game, hands down. Because it's very early on. Thank y'all. You don't have a lot of stuff. And it almost made me rage quit multiple times because of that zombie. And sometimes I can sneak kill him, sometimes I can't. But I didn't die, so that's okay. Okay, crouch again, because I don't know where I am now. But, so, yes, I choose to highlight my opinions on games. Oh, there's another dude there. I choose to highlight my opinions on games and my meager abilities playing games. I'm just good enough to not quite be embarrassed except in multiplayer. I admit that multiplayer gaming is still an embarrassing prospect for me because I'm not the best Twitch gamer. Ah, crap. That's okay. I'm just gonna torch you. Bye-bye. But, so, that doesn't mean, because I've been through it. Now, some people say that using your body to get ahead inherently, hello phone, inherently invalidates you as any sort of thinker. And that thinking is dangerous. That thinking is bad, because it doesn't. Just because men are not necessarily given preferential treatment because of their sexuality, there are implications of virility that affect men too. I mean, it's only recently that men in the media have allowed letting their hair go gray, right? Because it's cool to be old now. Old is trendy. But, George Clooney did it, and it just opened up the floodgates, and that's why George Clooney is cool. But, George Clooney, up until very recently, tended to date women who were predominantly attractive and not especially very smart. And then he went and married a human rights lawyer, which, says something. But, before that, George Clooney was part of that media message that women are predominantly... Well, that's why he found me. My lantern's on. I'm not smart today. But, George Clooney, up until, he got involved and married Amal, was part of that narrative that women are predominantly valued for our appearance. And that's where this whole boobs are bad comes from. And of course, that's not where we should be going. The big problem in all these discussions now, there's supposed to be a pickup here. What the hell? But the big problem in all these discussions of late is the fact that too many, online mobs take a perfectly decent idea and then ruin it with stupidity and overreaction. Oh, is it up there? I better check. But, that doesn't make the original idea something we should just toss out. We shouldn't toss the baby out with the bathwater. And that's why I'm taking a little bit more time on this topic instead of just going, no, of course they have the right to do it, and everyone should shut up because their body, their rights. And, I don't think that individual women who dare to be proud of a body part, because that's the other thing about this, right? How dare you have pride in your appearance? That makes you a bad girl, or that makes you arrogant, and we get into this whole confidence is unfeminine issue. And so, there's a lot of stuff about, coming down on these girls on Twitch that I know people who cosplay and play games on Twitch. If people want to pay for that, who am I to say that's wrong? I mean, it's not the most cerebral entertainment, granted. But so what? Not everything you do in life should nominate you for a Nobel Prize. It's perfectly fine to just want dumb and fluffy every so often. Ah, crap. Blow up. Come by the trip. Ah, you smart. All right, sneak kill. No, I should be able to stab you. What the hell? Game? So, come on. Oh, I shot you in the groin. There we go. Oh, that's a way to go. One to the groin, one to the head. Oh, that is the evil within. A bullet in the groin is the evil within. It is an evil bullet within the guy's junk. There we go. See, some would claim that was sexist or misandrous. No, it's not. It's just a dumb joke. And that's the thing. Not everything is political, and people have thrown that. The personal is political thing in my face quite a bit lately. Which, again, good idea. Taken to a lunatic extreme, because now we assume the basic idea, the idea that people have the right to tell their stories, and this idea of it's a personal matter, it is not the same anymore, especially in the tabloid era of reporting we live in now. But the personal is political came about in a time when domestic abuse was considered a private matter, guys. That's why it became such a powerful statement. Now it's, you hurt my feelings, let's form a rally. That's never what it was intended to be. Of course, logic applies in all these things, But the personal is political was because women were self-censoring in the public sphere because they thought, oh, this is just a personal problem. This is not something anyone would be interested in. And that happened by, the millions. People were self-censoring, and they're like, no, your story does matter. Every single person's story matters. That's what the personal is political was supposed to be about. And there are a lot of these rallying cries and a lot of social movements that when you actually listen, when you actually break them down logically, but that's okay, if it's sort of a meditation point, and I know meditation points are for Mountain Mondays, but just turn mountains into boobs, same thing. But to take a statement and go, okay, there's something I can take away from this. I should speak up more. My story does matter. Is a far cry from going, you must listen to me because I'm a special snowflake. And you don't have to stop thinking because of a catchphrase. And I'm missing an entire house here. But that's unfortunately what's going on far too often with political movements nowadays. Okay, I hear you. Is that, you know, people get this catchphrase. Listen and believe is another example. That I like this. Yeah! See, that doesn't mean I'm going to really set people on fire. Because setting real people on fire is horrible. I've seen videos of people actually being set on fire. And it's grisly. And makes me feel bad. People being set on fire in a video game, well, zombies being set on fire in a video game, is not the same as advocating someone being set on fire in real life. That's for certain political activists to say, go die in a fire. I do not subscribe to this manner of discourse in the real world. But, oh, that's interesting. The surf sounded like the zombie going rawr. That was pretty cool. I didn't notice that in my first playthrough. I'm playing through again because I bought the game for the PS4 because my friend gave it to me on the PS3. And I wanted to play the DLC on the next-gen system, or the current-gen system now. But I have to buy the main game to get the DLC for the same system, which doesn't make any sense. There's no reason. Well, I guess maybe it's a smaller file because it shares the mechanics. But I really wish the assignment had been standalone because then I could have upgraded. But that's personal, and I'm bringing it into the public sphere. But the thing about the personal is political is that you can't use it as a shield. I have the right to speak and insist that no one disagrees with you. And I think that some people are relying a little bit too much on public venues as, you know, safe spaces, as we call them now. And even that has become sort of a mockery of the intended. I know I'm missing a bloody map piece here. I can never find it. And that means I'm going to have to do this level again, but oh well. But, yeah, there are too many people expecting public entertainment or mass media to be bubble wrapped nowadays. And yes, there are some people offended by gasp, cleavage. But, you know, I find it very interesting that there's this war on a decidedly feminine secondary sex characteristic when legs and pretty faces and all these things are used on television all the time. You know, bare backs are used on television all the time to sell products and to influence thinking. And don't tell me that that slender pair of legs that you see on a bazillion...
That's right. Just keep doing what you're doing.
That you see on a bazillion commercials are not associated with ideal femininity any more than a nice rack is. You know, that's silly. That slender B-cup, vaguely boyish figure has become the considered acceptable beauty standard. And what does that say to the rest of us that don't happen to look like that? We happen to have butts that stick out, and we happen to have boobs that are above average. We didn't ask for these body parts, guys. We didn't. We were born this way. Just because some people pay for implants doesn't mean all of us did. And then I get told, well, if you want to be taken more seriously, get a reduction. So these people believe I should have to get painful surgery to conform to social norms. How is that not oppression? Why can't I just have my boobs and be left alone? You know? This stuff astounds me. Ah, crap. I'm just gonna run across the bridge, and this isn't working. Shit. Ah. But oh no, I hate the part of this game. No, okay, I got some, oh, shiza. Hey, so.
God damn it.
And this is the issue with this war on boobs in gaming. And the silly thing is, I watched 2 shows last night. Madam Secretary and The Good Wife. Both of whom are aimed at primarily women. Aimed at older women. And, you know, are considered feminist shows that deal with, you know, the struggle of women in positions of authority. And, you know, The Good Wife deals a lot of infidelity. There's a lot of sex in The Good Wife. Which is why I find it so funny that there's this whole, no, take the sex out of games, don't sexualize people. Alicia Florrick is one of the most sexualized characters on television. She is juggling like 2.5 men right now. So, because she's got, you know, she's got Finn, and she's got, what's his name, Elfman, and then she's got her husband, that's that whole complicated thing. But she has sex. She's frequently shown having sex. She's frequently seen thinking about sex. And last night's show, she ran for state's attorney, won the election, but it was this up and down election day. And so one of her potential love interests, this guy named Finn, gives her a copy of Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and it was a full-blown product placement, like boom, full screen. That doesn't just happen. Someone needs to pay someone to use that, and I'm pretty sure they would have found a game they wouldn't have to pay for. What? Error? No. Report problem. No. What happened? Why did you crash my game? Weird. That never happened on the PS3, PS4. Next gen, my ass. Anyway, so, they were playing Halo. Meanwhile, her partner, played wonderfully by Christine Baranski, went hunting with her husband and his Republican buddies. And, you know, they juxtaposed the fake killing in Halo with the real killing, deer hunting. And I thought it was very subtle, but to me, I went, yeah, you know, nobody really dies in a video game, and we sort of know this, because, you know, Alicia, the main character, Juliana Margulies' character, would never be out deer hunting to relax on, you know, on election day. So it was cute, and one of the lines that her assistant, Marissa, who's a great character, says, you know, they get her avatar all set up, and Alicia goes, wow, I look great. And Marissa says, yeah, every woman's cup size increases a letter when they become an avatar. And this is on a feminist show. And it's just a joke. And none of them have especially large boobs. And no one was offended. It was seen as a truism. And this is going on in the mainstream press. Meanwhile, you know, Taya Leone on Madam Secretary is playing Titanfall because she can't sleep because she watched a guy get killed in front of her at Iran. And, you know, this is what the saner aspects of the mainstream think about gaming. Meanwhile, the entire industry is having a freaking conniption fit over a radical minority that thinks boobs are bad. Well, guess what, guys? You've all been taken. Because these people have an agenda. And their agenda isn't to make things better for everyone. The agenda is to make things less challenging for themselves. And we can't be excluding any women or any men, any type of men, any type of woman, and claim to be for diversity. That's just absurdist logic, right? But that's what we're trying to do in gaming. We're trying to strip out certain types of bodies and certain types of experiences, you know, the experiences of sex workers who very much need some stigma reduction in some form of press, because they're seen as disposable as Kleenex in most television shows. You know, think about the pre-credit sequence in a lot of procedural crime dramas. Hooker gets killed, right? And everybody gnashes their teeth and wrings their hands afterwards about what a tragedy it was that she was put in this terrible situation. But you never see people treating, you very rarely see, it does happen, but treating a prostitute like a human being on a television show is some great act of kindness. Not, that's what you do because they're a human being, right? And it's so strange to me that this whole debate, what's passed off as feminism in gaming right now, is actually some of the most regressive, anti-feminine, because, I mean, what are they declaring war on? Female secondary sex characteristics, visible indications of femininity. That's what they've declared war on. That's not feminism. That's, you know, that is what some people call cultural Marxism. And people argue that term, but it is a particular, oh, that's nice. It is a particular form of feminist thinking that attempts to reduce the physical differences, physical visual differences between the sexes in an attempt to have equality. Whereas, you know, and that's called gender feminism in some areas now. What the heck? You see that? He got stuck. This game is full of bugs on the PS4 version. But ran fine on the PS3. Didn't have any of these problems. But, you know, that's not the only form of feminism. And, you know, it really frosts me that this is the form that most people seem to be familiar with. And, you know, not the form of feminism that encourages girls to go to school in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Because that is feminism too. And it just, whoa, see, that's feminism. But
she's gone.
Because you never put a woman in a game like this before the feminist movement, it would be considered unseemly. You know? And if you actually read the history of, you know, certain movements in certain countries, psychiatrists were masturbating their female patients for hysteria at one point, while still insisting that women didn't enjoy sex. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how silly, by our standards, opinions regarding women were before the feminist movement really got rolling. And so it really disturbs me when people proudly go, I'm anti-feminist. It's like, no, you're really not. And it really disturbs me when people think they are because of a couple bad experiences with college radicals. And that's why, you know, feminists get our own version of drop the tag. That will just stop calling yourself a feminist. Why can't you call yourself an egalitarian? Well, because my particular point of interest is stopping this crap like women being shamed on Twitch for cleavage. And that is feminism to me. I don't think women should be body shamed for anything. And that is feminism. It's an issue specifically relating to women that men don't have to worry about. Men don't have to worry about being shamed for their tits. You don't have them. And no, man boobs don't count. Although I've seen some lovely man boobs. Seriously. Some dudes, they put on a corset, they strap those babies in. It's attractive. But, you know, and I'm not talking transgender people. No, I'm not misgendering. It's dudes that just, you know, male corseters. It's different, and it is a thing. Men wore corsets back in the day. They were shaped differently than the corsets women wear. It was like top down, like making everybody look like a Bruce Timm character. But, yeah, it's crazy to me that people claim they're for free speech and then call themselves, you know, anti-feminist or especially anti some sort of, civil rights movement, because you're declaring yourself against an entire movement for the actions of a relative few. And it just amazes me. Stop talking over me, lady. It just amazes me that we've gone so nuts. Oh, my gun is gone. We've gone so nuts in this entire debate that people are polarizing on both sides. And that's friggin' dangerous. Whenever you get polarization this extreme, it's not good. And both sides are guilty of it. Those people proudly on Twitter saying to me, I'm an anti-feminist, knowing damn well that I self-identify as a feminist. And I mean, I think I've earned that cred. I've done my work. I don't consider myself, I don't identify based on other civil rights organizations just because I know that in a debate, I'd only half know what I was talking about. And I accept that, I'm not going to tell a Cuban person about Cuba because they live there, right? Just as an example. I've been to Cuba once, but I can't claim I'm an expert on the country. So I'm really dismayed by the anti-intellectualism on both sides that is fueling the shame leveled at real women who aren't doing anything wrong. And that's the important thing here. Showing cleavage on Twitch is not a moral transgression. It's not. And I think these are indications that the so-called advocacy in gaming on this issue has gone off the rails. This is a big indicator that we're, collectively having this massive debate about whether women should engage in a completely legal, non-harmful activity. And no, claiming it's internalized misogyny or whatever you want, that's a best guess at best. It is not taking any money out of anybody else's pocket. It is not taking away anyone's house. It is not causing them physical harm. No, it is a harmless activity to show cleavage on Twitch. Now, what you have to worry about is some judgmental asshole finding that and using that against you. But that is the misogyny in the general culture. It's got nothing to do with the behavior of the woman making the Twitch stream. If you got great boobs, lady, or if you have great legs, or if you have a great butt, be proud. And guess what? Show it off while you can, because it doesn't last. Aging is a thing. So enjoy it while you have it. And I'll support you in that. And I cannot believe that we are even attempting to consider that these women are somehow doing something wrong by not being ashamed of their bodies. So that's my attempt to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear on this issue. And get past that horribly frustrating second level on the evil within. So I will say adieu on that point. Oh, am I going to get blown up here? I'm terrible at these. Oh, these are easy though. They get harder as you go on. But you see how I almost missed it anyway? I'm so bad at these. Hey, cabinet. Alright guys, thanks for watching Tatas Tuesday. Hope you're having a good week. And don't forget, Feedback Friday's coming up. So send in your comments. I'm more likely to read them on Twitter. And I'm definitely not likely to read them if you're an asshole. Okay, have a good day.